Good morning. I might call this a ferry through or a sail through with Don. I'm here in Croatia, here for a couple weeks and just traveling this beautiful country. But I'm reminded of a trip I took about 2 months ago with my daughter going to Iceland. And as we were traveling through Iceland, we were driving the ring, and she was looking at Google Maps. And I love my daughter dearly, but it was interesting because the maps didn't always work. Sometimes the app shut down, sometimes it showed it to you wrong. And I remember back on one of my first trips overseas, I've been a lot of places where there's not good direction. In fact, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, went to Korea. I've also been to Morocco, where there was no GPS. And so I learned very much to navigate by getting a sense of the signs, talking to people, asking questions, asking multiple people questions. I also, when I learned to fly many years ago, an airplane, is you would not only use your navigational instruments, you'd look down at the ground, and if you saw a railroad line or you saw high power cables, you would check it on the map and check that with your GPS. You were using three or four different mechanisms, many of them mechanical, to check your distance. So I think nowadays part of what's happened with a lot of leaders, we've gotten very used to electronic computers telling us what to do, but then we don't check it with our physical surroundings. And I think this is true of relationships. I think it's true of, I'm not really relating this to navigation, but it's true about relationships. It's true about running a business, looking at financial statements instead of going out in the field and seeing what's really going on out there and matching it with the financial statements. We've got to do a better job doing this as leaders, because if we don't do that, we're going to become dependent on technology. And while technology is a great thing and I love it, like I'm using it with you now, the fact of the matter is we need to do something that makes a difference in the real world, not just in the electronic. But if we use both together, it's a huge advantage. And when electronics works well, it's great. So I hope I'm going to get to Sarajevo. If I don't and my electronics don't work, I'll be checking along the way, talking to people, using visual signs and cues, and enjoying it. So thank you for your time. And by the way, go to Croatia and Iceland, both great places.